Welcome to the deep dive, where we unpack sources to pull out those key nuggets of knowledge. We want to help you get informed without feeling overloaded. Today, we're diving deep into just one source, actually, but it's a big one. A really comprehensive review of a cinematic titan. So yeah, get ready. Draw your revolvers, maybe. Because today's deep dive is into Sergio Leone's 1966 epic, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And this source, it calls it way more than just a Western. It's an existential war symphony, drenched in greed, death, and fatal beauty. Quite a description.
It really is. And it frames the film as, an allegorical myth, even a cinematic requiem for heroism. So, not your typical shoot 'em up.
Definitely not. We'll get into the themes, the characters, those iconic visuals, and why this review gives it a perfect 10/10.
What's so striking, I think, is how this film made by Italians, shot in Spain, just completely turned the American Western on its head. It really questioned those foundational myths, didn't it? And brought in these morally gray characters way before it became common.
Right. So what's the takeaway for you listening?
Well, if you've seen it, hopefully you'll get a new appreciation for all the layers, the symbolism, the commentary, and if you haven't, you'll understand why it's such a must-watch. Okay, let's dig in. So, setting the stage. The basics. Sergio Leone directed it. Stars Clint Eastwood, Cleef, Eli Wallach. Runs about 161 minutes, quite long. And it's the final piece of that famous Dollars trilogy.
Yep. And while it is a spaghetti western, the source is clear. It's also a war epic and an allegorical myth. Those layers are key.
That war epic part. You mentioned how the Thor sees the Civil War backdrop.
Yeah, it's crucial. Leone isn't using the war for glory or ideology, not at all. The review calls it a tragic backdrop, even in absurd theater. It's reduced to, mud, explosions, and futility.
Just chaos and waste, then.
Exactly. The pointlessness of it all is really emphasized. It's just there, happening, while these guys chase gold.
Which brings us to that title, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The review says it's deeply ironic.
Oh, completely, because no one really fits neatly into those boxes, do they? Not according to this source. It says they're just variations of survival, cruelty, and occasional conscience.
It kind of strips away the archetypes, leaves you with just raw humanity.
And that ties into identity, too, right? The source mentions how identity is almost performed.
Yeah, that's a fascinating point. Identity isn't truth here. It's a performance. Characters switch roles, names don't mean much.
Alliances shift constantly.
Totally. Based on this really fluid morality, whatever serves survival in the moment.
Okay, let's dive into the trio themselves then. Blondie, Tuco, Angel Eyes. Because they are definitely not simple archetypes.
Not at all.
So Blondie, Eastwood, the good. The source calls him stoic, lethal, but good only by comparison.
Oh, not about virtue. The review says his code is more like calculation and occasional empathy, almost strategic.
A silent Western knight, but one Leone kind of mocks.
Yeah.
His goodness is measured, strategic, and conditional.
Exactly. And compare that to Tuco, Eli Wallach's The Ugly. What's interesting is the source sees him as maybe the most human.
Really? The most layered.
Yeah, wounded and layered. Sure, he's often played as this comic grotesque, but he's also a trickster, a survivor. And that backstory, with his priest brother, that haunts him. He represents, raw human desire and need.
Wow, okay. And then Angel Eyes, Cleef, the bad.
Chilling character.
The source describes him as calm, efficient, and just utterly amoral. Works for the highest bidder.
Death incarnate, that's the phrase used. He embodies structural violence, military, economic, personal. It's all there in him.
So this trio, embodying these different facets of humanity under pressure, they drive the main theme, which is greed.
Pretty much. Greed is the engine. The gold is the goal, but the source calls it a metaphor for the illusions men kill for.
Even while the world burns around them.
Precisely.
Okay, let's shift focus a bit. It's not just the people, it's the place. Leone uses landscape and objects as symbols, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. The visual storytelling is packed with meaning.
Like the desert, Tuco's march through it.
Yeah, that's more than just torture. The review calls it symbolic purification.
Purification? How so?
Like a stripping away of ego, of identity, comfort, everything. It's framed as a trial and transformation. A really harsh one.
And then the climax. That graveyard. Sad Hill Cemetery.
Incredible setting. The source calls it a labyrinth of the soul, a kind of symbolic limbo.
Limbo, where they confront everything. Mortality, greed, fate.
Yeah. Becomes this mythic arena, like something out of Homer or Dante's Inferno even. It's got that weight.
Which makes you think about the gold itself. It drives everything, but what is it, really?
Well, the source argues it's false salvation. It's the MacGuffin, right? The thing everyone chases.
Right, MacGuffin, the plot device.
Exactly. It drives the plot, drives the trails. But the review calls it a MacGuffin of moral collapse. Once they get near it, it feels hollow.
Earned only through blood and loss.
Which circles back to those labels. The good, the bad, the ugly.
The source calls them meta-commentary.
Yeah. Is Leone kind of nudging us, asking us to think about how we construct morality? In movies, sure, but maybe in life too.
Beyond the story, the look and sound are just legendary. Leone's style.
Oh, completely inseparable from the film's meaning. His choices are so deliberate.
Like the color palette, the sun-baked yellows and burnt browns.
Yeah, the source connects that directly to moral desolation. It's not just pretty scenery.
And the scale. Those huge widescreen shots.
Widescreen vistas dwarf the characters, is how the review puts it. It emphasizes human insignificance against this massive, indifferent landscape.
And then he contrasts that with the close-ups.
That iconic technique.
Yeah.
The extreme close-ups versus extreme long shots.
Obsessive details.
Yeah.
Eyes, hands, sweat.
Builds incredible tension that way. And then, bam! These whiplash zoom-outs that just throw you back into that vast world that doesn't care. It creates this amazing rhythm.
Unforgettable. And then the music. You just have to talk about more account.
Cannot separate them. The source literally calls the score the emotional language of the film.
Each character has a theme.
Right. And it's like their internal monologue. It shapes how we feel, how we read every single confrontation.
Which makes that final duel sequence, the ecstasy of gold, just incredible.
Pure cinematic opera. That's the quote from the source. Time, space, music. It all just aligns perfectly. It's a masterclass.
It really shows how sound just elevates everything.
Absolutely.
So digging even deeper, this film isn't just an adventure story. It's layered with allegory, social commentary.
Definitely. The review points out a kind of Dantean structure.
Like descending into hell?
Sort of, yeah. Unfolding in stages, like circles. Each new place is a new test of moral compromise and brutality.
So Tuco in the desert, that's purgatory.
That's the idea presented, yeah. And the cemetery is the final reckoning.
Wow. And connecting it to history, that critique of capitalism and war.
Very sharp critique. You've got these guys chasing money while soldiers are just dying in the mud.
Leone's showing how economic ambition thrives amid systemic slaughter.
Exactly. The Civil War becomes this chaotic obstacle course for personal gain. Really cynical view.
And it matters that it was made by Italians, filmed in Spain, looking at the American myth.
Hugely important. The source says it reconstructs and then deconstructs the Western myth.
So the American West here isn't the land of opportunity.
No, it's lawless, violent, surreal. A land of delusion, according to the review.
So socially, Leone helped usher in the anti-hero.
Big time. Questioning that simple good versus evil thing Hollywood loved. And he also de-romanticized war, showed it as just mass death, no lessons learned.
Fundamentally, then, it's about human nature under extreme pressure.
I think so. When all the systems fail, law, church, state, what's left? For Leone, it seems to be violence, loyalty by necessity, and bitter irony.
What an incredible film, and this review really unpacks it. It calls it a mythic, operatic masterpiece. Perfect 10/10.
Deservedly, I'd say. Transforms violence into ritual, the West into this inescapable dream.
And that graveyard duel, one of the greatest scenes ever filmed.
Absolutely. Leone's vision, so grand, ironic, brutal, but also sublime. It just stays with you.
It's more than just a movie, like the source says, a meditation on fragility, violence. Now, if people want more films kind of in this vein, deconstruction, moral ambiguity, that epic feel, the source suggests a few.
Yeah, there are some good recommendations. Once Upon a Time in the West, obviously. Leone again.
Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, There Will Be Blood.
The Proposition, Yojimbo, which is a big influence on Leone, and maybe something like El Topo for that surreal, allegorical feel.
Good list. And it leaves us with a final thought, maybe for you listening.
Yeah, something to chew on. If the film argues morality is constructed, identity is performed, what does that imply about the heroes and villains in our own lives?
And the stories we tell ourselves about them.
Exactly. What do we choose to believe?
Okay, that's it for this deep dive. Hope you picked up some surprising facts, some new insights into a real landmark film. Until next time, keep digging for those buried truths.